Mixed numbers. Add and subtract mixed numbers. To do math with mixed numbers, it is sometimes easiest to convert to a fraction. Then when you have your answer, convert back to a mixed number. Let's take a look at our examples. I'm going to show you two different ways of doing this. The one's going to be converting to a fraction. The other one will leave as a mixed number. I would advise that you choose to do one or the other, it doesn't matter which, and then stick to that way of doing it for adding and subtracting. All right, to convert these to a fraction, we're going to multiply our 5s, add the 2, so we have 25 plus 2, which would be 27. So I have 27 fifths. Multiply 7 times 10, which would be 70, plus 3, which would give us 73 tenths. Now I need a common denominator. Since 10 is a multiple of 5, 10 is my common denominator. Multiplying by 2 here, I get 54 tenths plus 73 tenths. So adding my numerators, I get 127 over 10. Now to convert that back into a mixed number, I'm going to divide 10 into 127. 10 goes into 12 one time, and then 10 goes into 27 two times with 7 left over. So that means this equals my whole number, which would be 12. My remainder would be the new numerator, and then my denominator would be 10. Now to do this with just mixed numbers, I would take 5 and 2 fifths and 7 and 3 tenths. I usually will do this vertically. First thing I need to do is get a common denominator. So again, this is going to be 10. So I'm going to multiply by 2 here. That gives me 4 tenths. So now I have 4 plus 3, which would be 7 tenths, and 5 plus 7 would be 12. So my answer is 12 and 7 tenths, which is exactly what I got doing it the other way. Let's take a look at our second example. Again, I'm going to start with changing these to fractions. So I'm going to take 2 times 3 plus 1, which will give me a negative 7 thirds, plus 6 times 9, which would be 54, plus 4, which would give me 58 ninths. 9 is a multiple of 3, so 9 is going to be my common denominator. So that means I need to multiply this one by 3. So we have negative 21 ninths plus 58 ninths. Adding those together, or in other words subtracting, I get 37 ninths. Now I need to convert that back into a mixed number. So 9 goes into 37 4 times with a remainder of 1. So that means this equals our whole number, which would be 4. Our remainder would be 1. The denominator would be 9. So I get 4 and 1/9. Now the trick to subtracting with mixed numbers is that you always put the larger number on top. And I always do these vertically, by the way. So this will be 6 and 4/9, because it's larger than 2 and 1/3, minus 2 and 1/3. Again, I need to get the common denominator, which we know is going to be 9. So I'm multiplying by 3 here, so I get 3/9. So I have 4 minus 3, which would be 1. My denominator's 9, and 6 minus 2 would be 4. And notice that I got 4 and 1/9, exactly what I got before. Now, there is one thing that we need to talk about here if we're going to be doing these. If I rewrote this problem just a little bit different, and this was 6 1/3 minus 2 4/9. I'm just doing this for ease of just being able to copy things over and not have to figure things out. 3 is less than 4, so this means that we have to borrow. And we borrow from our 6, and we're borrowing 1, which means that I'm adding 1, but I'm adding 1 with the denominator that I have. So I'll have 3 plus 9, which would give me 12. And I have to do this anytime I'm dealing with a mixed number, which is why sometimes people do not like to subtract with mixed numbers. So I borrowed 1, added it to my fraction. Now I'll do my subtraction. So I'd have 12 minus 4, which would be 8. My denominator stays the same, and then I have 5 minus 2, which would be 3. So this would be my answer if I had this other problem. So be careful about how you write these. Larger number always must be on top.